Otaku cooties. Are you serious? Otaku cooties. That entire line in this episode, I don't know if it's just me, kind of pissed me off a little bit. I will say this episode all around was enjoyable. I liked this episode. There was a good amount of drama in this episode, and the main actual plot point of the entire series is finally getting handled. Inari finds out that Uka is disappearing because of her and her bad actions with all of her divine power. Now, this episode really got good in the second half when you get to see Inari just say, "I hate them." And then you see the entire town just shaking and all that with the music, and you see Inari, the way you see the spiritual power going around her with the animation, the music, and the way her eyes look. It was a really good scene. It was definitely a dramatic scene, and you get to see how Inari is just a human, a mortal, and she really does not deserve these type of powers. After this episode and after the course of this entire series, Uka made a grave mistake in trusting her divine powers into a little girl, let alone a human. Inari takes the blame for the letter disappearing in previous episodes back. She pretty much says that she threw away the letter, which was really shocking. I didn't expect her to see her handle it that way, and honestly, I knew this entire scene, the entire section of when the letter disappeared would come to haunt her later on in future episodes. Even though Inari transformed into the girl that was trying to confess to Tambabashi, she was the one that transformed and technically didn't give a letter to him. So what would happen if that girl ever came around Tambabashi and says, "Oh, what'd you think about my letter?" Of course, Tambabashi wouldn't know what the hell they're talking about. So I knew this was going to happen eventually. I kind of sensed it, but at least they got this drama aspect out of the way. But this entire section with the drama kind of pissed me off in a little bit of sense, just like I said with the Otaku cooties. But besides that one, the other portion of drama that really made me mad was how everybody in the classroom, all the girls, were just choosing to ignore Inari and her friends just because some random girl told them to ignore her. I mean, you can easily tell the girls did not want to ignore Inari, so I was like, what the hell? Why are you just following someone's orders when you don't want to do it yourself? That's me nitpicking. This episode was enjoyable. I love the BGM. The BGM was great, and the animation was awesome. So, there's a lot of questions in this episode. Is Inari going to be able to save Uka? I see Uka disappearing right at the end in the cave, the Heaven's High Cave, and that she's just, you know, saying she will protect Inari to the very end, which is very upsetting because Inari at the end says she's going to protect Uka. And so, my major question about this entire series is why does Uka have so much growing attachment to Inari? I mean, yes, we know a little bit about the backstory with Inari's brother, with how Uka met him, but we don't really know exactly why Uka cares so much for Inari. So hopefully by next episode, since next episode is the final episode, they will explain this bit of details that I've been wanting to know for a while. Why does Uka have such growing attachment to her? Yes, we can know Inari visited her shrine every freaking day. I mean, every day, even though she couldn't see Uka, she visited her every day. She went there to play. So I'm just thinking, like, what other type of reasons are there? Is that the only reason? Or is there more character development waiting? So I'm just a lot of questions right there. I felt like this episode did a good point of building up the final climax of the series. Hopefully the next episode will be able to conclude in the proper way. I mean, we're probably not going to get to see the actual conclusion of the romance between any of the characters, which is very upsetting. At the very least we know that next episode most likely will resolve the entire issue of Uka disappearing. Inari might give back her powers. There might be some form or fashion of Inari being able to see Uka without using divine powers. Maybe Uka could transform into a human, and then that would mean Inari can actually see Uka. Because if we remember a couple episodes back, when Uka was talking to Inari's brother, we saw how she pretty much stated she transformed into a human not to freak him out. So, if Uka could transform into a human, and regular actual people can see her, that would mean Inari could see her, she couldn't. So, that's my entire theory out there. Maybe that's the entire way I can see how Inari won't lose friendship with Uka. But besides that, tell me your thoughts on this episode, everybody. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What is your favorite moments about this episode? And did you think that this episode did everything up to your expectations? What did you think about the Otaku cooties? Do you want some of that type of disease, or do you want to continue just embracing your Otaku self? Tell me your thoughts in below. You all wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Everybody, love you so much. Chibi out.